who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Hey sports fans, Larry Elder here. Believe it or not, this is episode number 48 of And Another Thing. Welcome to the 48th edition of And Another Thing. Go to LarryElder.com, fill out the form, become an Eldorado. You'll get a free copy of Michael and Me, my award-winning feature-length documentary where I talk about the Second Amendment. You get that by becoming an Eldorado. Go to LarryElder.com, fill out the form, and I'll see you then. Now for this edition of today's show. Couple of things, both of which have to do with race. One has to do with my alma mater, Brown University, where I graduated from college in Right now, a police commissioner from New York, Ray Kelly, spoke there just yesterday. And the students yelled and screamed and shouted him down, and even the president of the college thought the students were rude and unfair. What was the issue? The issue is that because of the stop and frisk policy in the view of Police Commissioner Kelly, crime in New York has gone down. Now, it turns out that a disproportionately high percentage of those stopped and frisked are, you know where I'm going with this, black and brown, and therefore the commissioner has been accused of racial profiling. Never mind that when you look at a city like New York, where the population is about maybe 40% white, about 20% black, and about 20% Hispanic, and the rest other. When you look at the homicides, 96% of the homicides are committed by and almost always against a black or brown person. Only about 2% of the homicides are committed by whites against other white people. And as a result, you're going to have more cops in minority neighborhoods than in non-minority neighborhoods. Duh! And so the commissioner, however, has been accused of racial profiling. And rather than have an intelligent discussion about that, students, liberal, open-minded, tolerant students are shutting you down. As the late comedian Richard Jenny used to say, these are the liberal, tolerant, open-minded people, until you say something that pisses them off. When I was in college, back in the day, a speaker wanted to come to Princeton, especially if you are the open-minded, tolerant liberals that you claim you are. Second racial issue has to do with this controversy over Barneys and Jay-Z and Al Sharpton. Let me try to unpack this a little bit for you. Barneys is a high-end department store whose headquarters is located in New York. A couple of black shoppers who legitimately bought high-end items were falsely accused of shoplifting. One was a 19-year-old young man who bought a $349 Ferragamo belt. I don't even know what that is. I can't even imagine paying $349 for a belt. If I did, my dad would take the belt, whip me with it, send me back to the store with the belt to get a refund. You recall the line that was put on President Bush. They lied, people died. Actually, it was Bush lied, people died. Over Iraq because of the intelligence Bush was given, yada, blah, etc. Now with the Affordable Health Care Act, notice how when there are problems, it's now called the Affordable Health Care Act. When there aren't problems, it's called Obamacare. But I digress. Now that President Obama has said regarding the Affordable Care Act, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. How do you feel about those who said Bush lied, people died? Funny you should mention that. I mentioned that yesterday. That might have inspired your question, maybe not. Think about it. The Bush lied, people died crowd. What was their argument? Their argument that Bush lied about the intelligence. Now, what did Bush rely on? Bush relied on the National Intelligence Estimate that was compiled by all 16 of our intelligence agencies. We have 16 agencies, and they have varying levels of certainty regarding their intelligence. The highest level is something called with the highest level of confidence, or something to that effect. There's nothing called certainty. There's nothing called 100%. All 16 felt that Saddam Hussein had stockpiles at the highest level of their certainty. Bill Clinton thought that. Hillary Rodham Clinton thought that. Howard Dean thought that. Sandy Berger, the former national security advisor under Bill Clinton, thought that. Virtually everybody thought that. The Russians thought that. The British thought that. Even Hans Blix thought that. So Bush relied in good faith on what the intelligence community told him. And by the way, he retained the same CIA director, George Tenet, as who served under Bill Clinton, who gave him the same intelligence, which is why Bill Clinton also believed it. And then when I hope you enjoyed this small excerpt. If you want to see the full video, got to be an Eldorado. Go to my website, LarryElder.com, log in, fill out the form. It'll cost you about $4.75 a month, or about the price of a mocha frappuccino latte at your favorite coffee house. As you can tell, I don't like coffee. I'm a tea drinker. See you next time.